Okay, everybody. Hi. How are you guys? All right, so I'll do the regular phew, yo, yo, yo to the yo, yo, yo. I've got noise canceling headphones on. Can't even hear myself. Yo, yo, yo to the yo, yo, yo. Phew. I made it. The only reason that I'm here really is that because, well, I was talking to a fellow trader and the question was, is there further upside? So I looked at a couple of my charts and I'd been looking at my beta chart and knew that we really needed to pull back a little bit in order for another Elliott to get printed. Pardon. We have a coughing house today. Hold on just a moment. Let me put myself on mute for a second. Okay, that might help. Sorry about that. Or maybe not. This is why I haven't been on mic, because we have a coughing house. And so I apologize for that. In any event, let me show you why we thought that there's certainly further upside. Let me get you to the 60-minute Ruby. And you can see that this price right up here, the 78.43, it's not like it was a no-brainer, but in a full advancement, which is where this line is right here, this break potential line right there, you have full advancement, right? And this is just a tremendous trough, great right shoulder to pick up the long, a great early on Ruby cross to go long. With headwinds extraordinaire, a twist of all of the EMAs, and I mean, this is just a dream of a trade. So anything that's above this break potential line, though, you really are counting each of these candles, right? Because in fact, I had done a post earlier today where it was like, dudes, we're at 20%, like what from the cross? If you don't know what 20% looks like and you're trying to figure out, if there's more, there's plenty that's been in here. Now, if you decided that this trade wasn't for you, then you have to really evaluate that if you're buying up here, you have to go to the left of your chart when you're looking at a chart like Ruby. Even if you didn't have any EMAs, you still have to be looking at prior tops, what was going on during those prior tops, in which we know that these two candles, there's a lot of volatility in these candles. This was the suspension of SegWit 2X. And so we know that anything that's happening over here that's registering these price points, there's just a lot of volatility. And so we have these lovely bars to the upside. 78.93 is your price point right now. Now, the next question would be, well, how much more above 78.43 and then above the 73.28 line? How much more? How much more? Well, if you have some good fibs, you can figure out 78.62 has been busted. And let me see if I can get over, we could go to 83.04 before we go to 85.37 and before we go to 86.79. So this is one way of kind of calibrating if you're not going to be stair-stepping, and if you're fortunate enough to build some decent Fibonacci's for yourself, then at least you'll have an idea of what the target could be. But, I certainly don't know how much more we can get when you're just looking at the Fibonacci's. And that's why you go to other indicators. So here we go. This is the beta chart that we've been working on now for many years. On the 15-minute, it's the BTC USD Coinbase on the 15-minute. And many times I'll come in here and I have to do these weird markings on the chart. because it acts as a progressive. So when you see this pink circle here, when I drew that circle, the 243 was there crossing through the 55 base. So we can see now the 55 base has been raised up. I now know that the 80 base is coiling and price is going to be moving up, because it's almost as though the bases act as support levels. So here we have all this activity in the upper ranges of Bollinger. We're not out of Bollinger, but I was calling for that we needed to kind of come back from this 5, because this 3 has to resolve somewhere around here before, from here to the 80 base, in order for it to get the move to give us the 5. So this thing is just on such an incredible tear. But my suspicion is as we get, we're only $100 off of 8,000, that somewhere around there, 79.23.99 right now, somewhere up in here, we're either going to get a violent short that's going to come in, a big, big, big short that's going to come in, and which might fill in Bollinger. So that's why I thought that it was important for me to go ahead and come on to YouTube, as difficult as it is for me to try and wrap my words around what's actually happening, and give you guys some direction on how you look at managing price at 79.29. These are just awesome numbers. I think that they're more difficult to wrap your head around when we're going through these surges, because there's a lot of euphoria and a lot of hysteria around getting up here. And this is when really great traders can take advantage of the trader that doesn't know that if you're not in it, it's not like I can say to you, it's too late, but it's too close to 8,000. So maybe that's a more delicate way, more politically correct way of saying that. If you're not in, it's so close to 8,000 that patience might be your friend in this. If you just want to be made part of it, then just be very wise about size, and just kind of have an idea. We're tapping the top of Bollinger. We could bump out of Bollinger, fine enough, takes us to 8,000. But the beta chart was telling me earlier on that it was ready to pull back a little bit. So if they take advantage at 8,000, that's what I would expect. 79.39.53 is your price right now. So we'll go back over to Ruby, and we'll go ahead and we'll go into the 15 minute, so you can see her in the 15 minute, and then we'll go into the 3 minute. There's the 3 minute. We know that it's softened up a little bit here, but Ruby is just, holding strong. The 8 and 12 are great distances. Look at these EMAs. You could not hope for anything better than this. This is just a lovely move off of the 8, and then, this just wonderful trajectory. Nice distance away from the 8, and clearly the 8 and the 12 are just perfect for these short-term scalping kind of trades off of the 8. So you're a Forex guy, you would know how to trade this with brilliance, and good pip value too. 74.91 to 79.45. There'd be no problem in taking that scalp. It's a lovely move. Okay, so let me see what my Hangout's doing, and then I popped out the chat. So let me get that. And okay. All right, so yep, here we go. 79.64, 65, 61.95, 65. The trade is up 9.2+%. at 7 minutes after 5 o'clock on the east coast of the United States. 79.65, flat is your price. 79.68 is your price. Do we have 79.70? 79.70 in the room? 79.71.17 in the room, up 9.34. 79.75 in the room. Do we have 79.80? 79.80? Looking for 79.80. 79.82, thank you very much, and 83, up 9.45%. Do we have 79.85? 79.85. Thank you, Mr. 84, and 85 is given to us, up 9.47. 79.85. Thank you to 79.85. Do we have 79.90 in the room? Let's just go ahead. 79.90. 79.90. Looking for 79.90. Looking for 79.90. Up 9.48% at 79.8537 on the Bitcoin USD Coinbase pair, trading at 79.8536. Looking for 79.90. All right, let's use the bot. 79.64, little drop off, so the shorts are taking advantage. Probably a little bit of profit taking up here, especially we're counting now down the minutes. If you can feel that, it's people are like, hey, listen, I'm not gonna, if this doesn't give me what I want in the time allotted, I'm not going to wait for even the rounded off. So here we are at 9 minutes after the hour. So that talks about the 9-minute bar. We'll just see what they can do at the quarter of an hour if they come back in. Trade at 79.44. 44. So it's just a wonderful attitude for any scalper. So if you're good and you have the administrative costs handled to do the trade, just fantastic action. You can also see that Ruby is showing that volatility. If you'll notice the 4 dots on the right, that's the 8 literally flickering. And as it's registering the volatility coming in, you always want to have kind of a nice, smooth, flattened EMA there, but you can see that it's really quite the tug and pull. All right, let's see. Thank you very much also for stopping by. Check in on the chat if you don't mind, if you're listening. That helps me kind of know. And let's see what let us see what the beta is giving us. So there we go. We came out of Bollinger. We came out of Bollinger, as you can see, and we know what the rules are about that. That the trade doesn't want to be outside of Bollinger. It wants to do everything that it can to come back inside of the Bollinger Bands. So the call was, according to the beta chart, that we really needed to see some lower prints so that we could get the energy down here at the lower bands in order to produce the 4 cycle that would give us the 5 cycle that would take us over 8,000. So keep an eye on that so you guys can see that happen in real time. 78.93. So not a rejection of 8,000. This is just, this is just some profit taking, some shorts coming in, maybe trying to show their, what they've got, because there'd be a lot of it up here and they could have just lowered their price and decided, well, we'll go ahead and take it short up here. We don't know yet. At 12 minutes after the hour at 78.8105, up 8.05%. Okie dokes. Righty. Okay, so you guys know that I'm working on this Nightbot, and we do have one message that's just not working out. This all you message is not working out. I don't know why. It says that I can't use an alias of a command to call. It says if this command is supposed to call another command, which it isn't. So I think what I'll do is let me try and submit that one and then see what happens with the all you. Okay, so here come back the buyers. All right. So we want to do all you. Here's the bot. All you. So it went to the alias. Okay, so that command went to the alias, and I don't know why. I have no idea why. All right. If you guys have any idea why that would happen, let me know in the chat, please. Okay. All right. Okay, and then I need to see where we are with YouTube. So if you don't mind me, I'll go ahead and check and see where we're at on YouTube. And what we're going to do, this vanity, your current live. So I'll go Bitcoin, and we will go to filters, and we'll go to last hour, and we'll see if we're there. We have Thursday afternoon. That's where we are right there. Okay. Look at all the Bitcoiners. Wow. And so many lives too. It's amazing. It's very cool. All righty. Okay, we're just going to let that kind of sort itself out. We're in the quarter of an hour now. And let's go ahead and move to the 15 minutes so we don't lose any kind of, what is this thing really doing? I mean, that's a decent candle. It could maybe start to register as a top. Let's take a look here. So we're not getting anything printed out in the Fibonacci yet, or the Elliott, pardon me. So we don't know quite yet from there. Okay. All right, so then our night bots. Then we have timers. And we have our trader rules, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the donate. And then the commands, I have 2 more commands I can use. So just don't understand why this one. That's weird. So we're going to take a look at the 1 minute and see how this really took off here. So a little bit of confusion now. People don't want to take the risk short, and clearly the longs don't want to come in and put more money in. So just kind of let it rest for a little bit. All right. So now we've got our trader rule 3 that came in. But do you notice how it's not coming in order? I'm not too sure. It's supposed to be set up according to the clock. See, there's 4, but not 2. Did 2 ever come in? Rule 2. It didn't. No, there's rule 2. At 4:50. So rule 2 is off its timer. Okay, if you guys are cool with me being on mute for just a little bit, see if I can sort this Nightbot out and get that timer corrected. Okay, it looks like we are going to either get a little bit of the fill-in of the Bollinger. We'll go ahead and work over to the beta chart and see how things are going to fare out, but that's what it looks like. So that little bit of volatility that we did see in the 8 clearly was a signal. So let's make sure that we keep an eye on it. And we'll go ahead and go here. And so this is the area that we want to be concerned with. Now, I'm staying on the 15-minute because this is where we put the beta If I was to go in a little bit closer, it's not going to help any of us exactly. But as the trade does come in and fill in Bollinger, I'm really kind of surprised that it only did the one wick up. But you'll notice if you'll go back, especially in this format, that it's very kind of rare that the beta chart spends much time outside of Bollinger. So here we're getting a fill-in, and it's going past them through the median at 77.55 now, 77.68. It can survive here and even print an Elliott, but it looks pretty strong, and I do think that they took advantage of getting those signals above Bollinger, and then not only are the shorts able to take hold, but those, of course, that are selling their longs out. So let's see what happens here. Trading at 78.24.21, 7,800, 7,800, and of course we're looking for the lower Bollinger Band. We have 76.18 in the house. It's $200 away. 76.18 would actually be the perfect fill-in here. Really, the lesson here is that having taken the cross ruby long, there's plenty of profit in here. Whatever you have left in the trade right now should only be dust. It should be what's called your runner until we have a condition where you can begin to add back into your position. So right now it should just be a runner. You should be completely relaxed. Should be absolutely no issue for you for the trade to pull back inside of Bollinger. If you do follow the Bollinger rules, have the trade fall back in to play. Even there are some where they would let their runner come all the way down to the 243 so that they get that signal. So they're willing to take away all of that potential profit and keep a trade on so that they'll get that signal to the 243. A lot of times if you take the whole position off, what will happen is that you will actually leave the trade. You won't be watching the trade or honoring the trade and how it's reacting every day like you do when you have money on the line. So keeping a runner helps you do that, and a lot of traders do that, obviously. And then they would pick it up again at the 243. But let's see what's meant to be. It's 5:25 on the eastern side of the United States of America, and the trade is at 78.33, now up 7.39%, off a couple percents from when we started to come online today. Let me make sure that I put myself back on mic, and I did. Okay. All right, so this is what was discussed earlier. I'm always much more relaxed when I'm just talking casually about, so I hope that I'm able to not sound so breathless about these things, but anytime that you go online, there is that little edge of nervousness, and you know, because you just want to follow the trade for what it is. And that's the part that's so interesting when traders talk to enthusiasts, when traders talk to chartists, interested persons, journalists about the trade, and there isn't this kind of anxiety over instructing or giving any advice whatsoever as to what you should do with your trade. So in full disclaimer, I want you to understand that all that I serve to do on YouTube especially is to provide some education and entertainment, because I'm oh so funny, and you know, that you should seek professional financial advice if you are looking at putting money on any trade whatsoever. So, and I have a full disclaimer. You can go to my other YouTube videos if you would like to see what that disclaimer is. We don't have them on these live, the Bitcoin moving, because I do them so quickly. Let me see what else I could say. Can't really say too much other than we're looking for another Elliott to print. That would be a good thing. And we can see that the 55 base just literally took off. So we know that the RSI was very coiled up there in the 80 baseline. Okay, and let me go back to the chat, and I'll be on mute for just another couple minutes here. Okay, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but we did get one candle that's below now that printed open and is now just 13 minutes into the bar, but did open up below the median. So it would be a pretty natural thing for this to just go ahead and fill in Bollinger. There's really nothing else that I can rely on here. I mean, we could we would be forcing any trend lines. I think I did trend line. I put some trend lines on my chart earlier in the day, and there just wasn't anything that was really impressing me. So I can't tell you, will we get a trend line break here, there, and the other. Right now, I can only rely that we are just getting a fill of the Bollingers. So we're just going to remain calm and let the selling come in. And there will be either bots or algos that will pick up the bottom Bollinger Band. That's where we should get this 4 Elliott. This 4 Elliott print should come in down here somewhere. And the only thing that seems to have changed, though, in this dynamic is that the 55 base did come back down. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but that the progressive 55 baseline did slide back down to meet up with the 243 EMA. It was above it. I don't know if you guys have noticed that before. So here people are taking an opportunity, maybe to thinking that they're getting a lower print in for maybe a scalp. So they're taking a 50-50 risk at the median. The price will go down to the Bollinger, snap back up to the median, and take them up to the higher prints. Okay, so let's see what my chat has to say. So Andre, are you still here? Okay, good enough. You know, it's difficult for me to kind of talk to the chat because most of my viewers come in replay, but thank you very much for stopping by. And I will stay with the trade as long as I possibly can tonight. I was really thinking that we could get a very quick move to 8,000, but we got, you know, well, I think it's primed. I don't think that this is it, although we do have some activity on the left side of the chart that could say, well, you know, it could get pretty weak up here. And there's some other recharges that have to happen. So I just wanted to let you know that if I go off and on mic, that that's the only reason. And then, oh, and then Bandit is here. So Bandit, say hi to Andre. Andre, say hi to Bandit. So it was Bandit and myself that were talking earlier over at Telegram about what could happen up at these prints, and so that's why I decided to go live. So Bandit, we did get that fill, at least the upper portion of the Bollinger on the beta. And Jeremy's here too. Yo, yo, yo to the, oh, I'm sorry. I see that, Jeremy. I get so confused. You men, my Bitcoin men, my Bitcoin bays. Well, at least you're here so you can see the Nightbot drive you crazy. Oh, man. So, yeah, I mean, that's really all that I can say. You know, just have to be patient. I know that trend lines weren't working for me today. I know that the Fibonacci's that we have that are in play have been very instructive as to what the potential for the upside has been. For anyone that watches the Ruby Cross, you've been in for a very long time now. And so, you know, the trade that's up here should be, you know, you should just have a little bit of dust up here, as they say. Don't have too much at risk. There are other people that are not putting a lot of risk. You can see it. Trade is very tender up here. So just be careful. But you'll hear that a lot from me. I'm always being, you know, Mother Goose. Got to get out of that business. Oh. Anyway, so for those people that are stopping by, thank you very, very much. This is Beauty Bubble for Bitcoin moving Thursday afternoon, really, but it's actually 5:37 on the East Coast of the United States of America, and we are waiting for 8,000 to come our way, and so that's why I'm online, and also to play around with my Nightbot, which is kind of new to the chat. I started it last night. I'm learning about how to use it. Obviously, when you don't have a busy chat, it can be rather annoying, but so sorry about that. Just have to, my middle name, annoying. But I do like to try different things, and it was Run Really who introduced me to the Nightbot, and I think he knows a lot more about it than I do. And I wish that I had kept the messages that he has, because there's a whole like learning curve with what you should really put in your Nightbot. But I tried something different, which is kind of cool, that if you do, I'm using emojis. Like, I don't want to use words, I just want to use emojis. And that way, if you put a certain emoji in, then that will give you another little, like if you put, I'll give it a try here. If you put a green heart emoji in, so you have to go, it's a slash command, by the way, it's not an exclamation. And there we go. So that slash command green emoji, you will get, look at that. You are now able to join the Ruby Cross bot build team. Look at that. That's pretty cool, right? So I'll have to put this whole thing in the description, that the Nightbot's got all these little secret messages. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. Well, does anyone have anything that they want to talk to me about in particular? Oh, man. Okay, so here, Bandit, you're going to see all the trader rules come in. And I have like 3 more that I can put in too, by the way. I get 10 commands on both sides. One for the regular bot and the other one for the timed ones. So, all right, well, we just have to be on alert here, but it does look as though Price wants to fill in Bollinger. It would be kind of a weird thing for it to just stall here and not decide to go through and undulate and hit the bottom of the Bollinger Band. It can take its time, and Bollinger can actually catch up quite a bit and narrow a little bit before it taps and then moves to the upside. So see how rule number 2 and rule number 1 are opposite? Do you see that? So I have to change that. I'm going to do that right now. That is not the way it's supposed to be. Let me bring this down to the Nightbot and go to the timers. And it says 5 minutes, interval 5 minutes, 2 lines, and then 10 minutes, 16, 18, and 30. So see, I don't understand why that doesn't work. See, I don't get that. It's not working out. So it's timed right, but it's going in the opposite. Trader rule number 1 should be up here. Okay. All right, I'll be on mute for just a moment. Man, I need some music. So I'll be on mute. Okay, so guys, you know what I think I'm going to do is probably close it down, and then if we see some more activity, we'll go ahead and power it back up again, and we'll take a little bit of a break, and I'll talk to everybody soon, okay? All right, thank you very, very much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. I learned something much. I learned something from the trade. I learned something from all you great people, and just thanks to YouTube, of course, for offering us this great platform so that we can meet and talk about what we love most, which is Bitcoin. So yes, there is. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a very good way of putting it. And it's actually like a rope pull. So that's what you see when you look at the median of the Bollinger. And it is trying, the trade is trying to decide what it wants to do. It knows what it needs to do in order for it to be strengthened. And but yeah, that's exactly what it's like. So as you know, the chat becomes part of the comments, the permanent comments down below of all of my YouTubes. And so any of your comments, just you can say whatever you'd like to down in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond to them when I'm not actually online. And thank you very much once again for stopping by. If you want to subscribe or if you want to be notified, please do. And your attendance will be counted towards the 10,000 lifetime views. I'm getting a special request. And let's see what I can do. I can remove. There we go. I removed it. Does that work? Do you see that? I deleted the message. Does that work? Yeah, I did. Do you see that though in the chat? Do you see it though? Okay, good enough. You got it. Okay, all right, so that deals with a little bit of housekeeping there, and it looks like the Nightbot is going to work out pretty well, and I will check back with you guys as soon as we need to, okay? All right, so bye-bye now. Bye-bye, Andre.